My friends, they've discovered another victim of that Santa Fe high school mass shooting last Friday in Texas. Another victim has been identified, and surprise, surprise, it's the shooter. Item from the Daily Mail. The father of the Texas school shooter says his son should be seen as a victim because he may have recently been bullied and mistreated by classmates. Dimitrios Pagortzis, 17, is currently being held on capital murder charges after he stormed Santa Fe High School last Friday and shot dead 8 students and 2 teachers. His father, Antonios Pagortzis, described his son as a good boy and said he thinks someone may have hurt his son in the lead-up to the massacre, unquote. Folks, if this was simply a father defending his son, that would be one thing. But this is endemic of what's happening in our country. By the way, this is Howard Riell. The show is called Riell Truth. I was off yesterday because of the holiday of Shavuos. I'm back. If you celebrated, I hope you enjoyed. It's the 21st century in America, and whatever you do, it's not your fault. In fact, better than that, you're a victim. Whoever you are and whatever you are, no matter what dastardly deeds you commit, don't sweat it. You're a victim. So here's this high school kid, walks into school. He'd been harassing this girl for months based on what I read. She didn't want to go out with him. So he went into school and started shooting people, and he is the victim. Now, this may be an extreme case, but it's a case. And I'm making the case now for the victim society that we live in. I don't even need to make the case. It's been made by much smarter people than myself for a very long time, but this is the most recent evidence. Whatever you do, it's not your fault. I think I mentioned this on the show. A couple of months ago, I was talking to some guy I know about the things he was doing wrong. And he tried to tell me, well, he was only doing it wrong because other people had not reached out to him first and taught him to do it the right way. Well, this guy's in his late 60s. If he hasn't learned the right way to do things by now, he's not going to. And it was an alibi, and he was whiny about it. And the thing that disturbed me is that there are millions of people like him. No matter what kind of horrible things I do, it's not my fault. My friends, I am sick to death of hearing it. If you're a regular listener to the show, I'm sure you're sick to death of hearing about it too. Time for people to act like adults, which means taking responsibility for your actions. Now, that includes high school kids when their actions include shooting people. Good Lord, it's Tuesday, and it's Riell Truth. And we'll be right back. Go nowhere.
The American Freedom Network needs your help. Please call 205-6245. That's 1-800-205-645 to make your donation. Or send a check or money with it to P.O. Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. That's P.O. Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. Help us keep the voice of truth, freedom on the air. Thank you. Choice City Electric in Fort Collins reminds listeners, out of sight should not mean out of mind. Let's remember our brave men and women of the military by sending care packages to them while they are away. You need not have a specific soldier in mind to help. Just call your local veterans organization. This message is from Choice City Electric in Fort Collins, your electrical and retrofit specialist. Visit them online or call 970-493-4077. That's 970-493-4077.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
All right, guys, welcome back. Howard Riell Truth. We are moving towards August. What happens in August? August is our 10-year anniversary here on Riell Truth. I am just as blown away as you are. The time has gone like that. So let's continue to do some more good. Item from the Economic Collapse blog. Get a load of this one. You know all those reports about how lots of Americans can't afford a $1,000 surprise expense like a medical bill or a car repair? Well, forget about additional expenses. Turns out nearly half the families in America are struggling to pay for food and rent. And that means the economic collapse isn't just coming, it's here. The 3 states with the most families barely surviving paycheck to paycheck are California, New Mexico, and Hawaii. Each of these states saw 49% of families struggling. North Dakota had the lowest percentage with 32%. You can check how your state fares. Despite the lowest unemployment rate since 2000, families all over the country are barely getting by. Here are some of the recent headlines that are all too familiar for many Americans. Report says Michigan makes little progress in lifting working poor to financial stability. After a decade of tax cuts, Ohioans in financial hardship. Louisiana families work hard but still can't cover necessities. 44% of Florida households, mostly working poor, struggling to make basic needs. Third of New Jersey households can't afford basic necessities. 42% of Wisconsin households struggle to pay bills, and on and on and on. Folks, this is the residue from the economy of 8 years of Barack Obama's presidential jihad against America and the American people. Under Democrat policies, liberal policies, the country groaned under the weight of masses of new bureaucracy, new red tape, economic strangulation, and this is the result. Yes, Donald Trump is the president. He's been president for less than a year and a half. But he cannot reverse in less than a year and a half all the 8 years of damage done by the Democrats. All we can hope for is that people will be smarter when they go to the voting booth in November, the midterm elections, and they remember that the reason they're having so much trouble now is 8 years of a Democrat administration, Democrat majorities in Congress. They were the death knell for the United States of America, laid waste to millions of Americans, and now we have a chance to undo that damage and put things back in the right direction. Item from The Guardian. Humankind is revealed as simultaneously insignificant and utterly dominant in the grand scheme of life on Earth by a groundbreaking new assessment of all life on the planet. The world's 7.6 billion people represent just 0.01% of all living things, according to the study. Yet since the dawn of civilization, humanity has caused the loss of 83% of all wild mammals and half of plants, while livestock kept by humans abounds. Stop. My friends, it's good to know where news is coming from. This news is coming from liberals, which means human beings are to blame for everything. Human beings are evil. If only we were as good as animals. If only we would extinctify ourselves so animals could roam free. That's what liberals think, believe it or not. You saw years ago, the same as I did, I talked about it on this show, some PETA activists went to a poultry factory, where they're getting chickens ready to be turned into poultry for sale. And they said, killing chickens for food is no different than the Holocaust. Absolute insanity on a grand scale. Hang on. This is the kind of anti-human rhetoric that you find exclusively on the left. Now, if you're a thinking person, you will think, well, wait a second. Even on the left, there are people. Don't they know that? Are they crazy? Well, the answer is no. They don't know it. And if they do, they don't care. And B, yeah, they're crazy. I already told you. They're liberals. Item from The Sun. Pope Francis has told a gay man that God loves him during a private meeting. It has been claimed. In a private dialogue, the pontiff is understood to have told Juan Carlos Cruz, a victim of sexual abuse at the hands of Catholic priests, that God loves people, gay people, and that it's fine to be homosexual. Stop. My friends, I am not a hater. Not even close. I let people live. Let them have a good time. But let's not convolute and muddle the words of the Bible. In the Torah, God says homosexuality is an abomination. And his prescription for it is the death penalty. Now, stop right there. I'm not saying any gay person should be executed. I'm not saying gay people should be persecuted. It shouldn't weigh against them when they're going for a job or an education. You should never be mean to gay people. Never insult them. Never act against them. Just treat them with the same respect you'd show anybody else. But at the same time, don't lie. And I'm speaking to you, Pope, because I know you listen to this show. Don't lie. If God says in the Bible he's against homosexuality, then he simply is. Don't go around telling people he's not. Whatever your position on any issue, at least be honest. Speak the truth. And if that's too much, then stay out of the debate. Item from CBSNews.com. Nearly 2 in 3 Americans think the nation's economy is in good shape. And most of them believe President Trump's policies are at least somewhat responsible for that. Unquote. My friends, Donald Trump's policies are not somewhat responsible for it. Donald Trump's policies are completely responsible for it. We were headed off the cliff and into the abyss, thanks, as I previously said, to 8 years of a Democrat administration in the White House, Democrat majorities in Congress. Now that's over, and we're beginning to recover. Like someone who's been ill, we're beginning to recover our health. How sad and pathetic if we were to decide in November, you know what, we prefer being sick. We don't want to be healthy. Well, if you're planning on voting Democrat in November, you're voting for sickness, for illness, unto death. Trump and the Republicans have been the medicine America has so badly needed. Let's keep taking medicine because it works. Take a break and we'll come back. Stick around.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America's News Network.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifices they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services in Longmont reminds listeners, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
All All right, guys, welcome back. It appears that the Obama administration spooks in the intelligence community were spying on the Trump campaign. No, I haven't got the proof. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing in the media, but it seems to me like it's pretty clear it's been happening. Here is Trump advisor Roger Stone on Obama's FBI spying on the Trump campaign. Go.
He has this new book out, Stone's Rules, How to Win in Politics. It's outing an FBI informant. You pick up a book and it's not 500 pages. You're like, oh, it's like, what's it? Page, the page is like a box. It's fantastic. You got the rules, road, hit hard, keep hitting.
And now, my friends, let me interject here. Whatever John McCain did in the past, it's the past. Right now, he's a doddering old fool who is damaging America. He was insulted by Donald Trump, and so he's aligning with the people who want to destroy America simply because he wants to strike out at Donald Trump. Well, you know, there was that White House staffer a few weeks ago who said, what does John McCain matter? He's going to be dead soon anyway. John McCain doesn't matter because he's a fool, no matter how long he's going to live. He's an oaf. He's a tool of the establishment. He should just be dumped in a 7-Eleven dumpster someplace and forgotten about.
And that rule is that, and I'll give you an example. Tom Kane of New Jersey ran for governor in 1977 and he lost. He learned how it worked. He knew you couldn't get elected as a liberal Republican. He was a much better, meaning more effective candidate having experience defeat. You know, at the beginning of the book, I use the famous quote from Theodore Roosevelt, who says, you know, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man still goes or where the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, I would say, man holding, whose face is marked by nothing, sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who dares, who comes up short again and again, because there is not effort without error and shortcoming, who actually strives to do the deed, who knows the great enthusiasm, the delights to spend himself in a worthy cause, and who at the best knows again the triumphs of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, he fails while daring greatly. So his place will never be with those cold, timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. That's what it's about, Lord. People like you, back in the arena, who aren't afraid to take the hits and the shots, who you fight because you believe it. And that's no shame in losing, no shame in not trying. I agree. And look, John McCain is more of a globalist. He's a military interventionist. He's more of a Bush, obviously Republican. If we have to go bankrupt to build the military up, then that's what we have to do. But I mean, he proves just fight for that virtue because we remember the Keating files scandal extremely well. This guy is not what he used to be. He's not a conservative by any stretch.
I don't know about that hero part. He's an American fossil. He needs to go. His lips are moving. Adam Schiff is a liar. I trust Roger Stone before I trust Adam Schiff. We'll be right back.
Animal House Taxidermy in Brighton would like to take this time to say thank you to all the brave men and women in the armed forces who have served our country. Business owners, consider hiring veterans our most dependable resource. And to those heroes back home from missions abroad, know that your dedication, selflessness, and courage are appreciated. May God bless America. This message is from Animal House Taxidermy in Brighton, proud to salute the fighting forces of our country.
This is my control. The American people will be here. Please call 205-624-1-800-205-624 to make your donation. Or send a check for the money with the PO Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado. Table 534, PO Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado. Table 534. God bless people and freedom all the year. Thank you.
Now this is the testimony of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
Walmart supercenter in Lafayette reminded, no one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families foot the bill for our freedom every day. Send a military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the Associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care.
Elizabeth Locker Plan reminds our listeners that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at early ages. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. As for Elizabeth Locker Plan, located at 366 Grant Street in Elizabeth, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized HB and pork and complete custom process. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. I am still Howard Riell. Joe DeGenova was on WMAL yesterday. You know, he's a former federal prosecutor. He's been weighing in a lot on Fox News about the DOJ investigation, investigators investigating themselves. He's an honest and a smart guy. Here's what he had to say yesterday.
Joining us now, Joe DeGenova, legal analyst, former U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia. Joe, good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You know, there's nothing going on, so I don't know what we're going to talk to you about.
Right.
So the Justice Department is now going to look into possible impropriety after President Trump demanded a probe on the alleged infiltration into his campaign. Do you trust the DOJ to investigate itself?
I do not. And just ask yourself this question: why wasn't this being investigated already? Why did it take a tweet from the President of the United States to get Rod Rosenstein off his duck? And then what does Rod Rosenstein do in response to the President's tweet? He assigns it to the Inspector General. Well, this should have been already under investigation by Mr. Huber, the U.S. attorney that Sessions appointed to investigate the FISA abuses, because this is all directly related to that. Now, the Inspector General has no authority over former DOJ and FBI officials. So who's he going to ask about this? There's no one to question inside the Department of Justice and the FBI today. So this is a sham. This is a typical Rod Rosenstein move. Two tips I have. This could be his undoing. What a disgraceful thing for him to say last night. And if there's anything inappropriate, if this happens, we'll take appropriate action. What the hell does that mean?
The President of the United States saying that he's going to move on official action today, demanding that the DOJ move.
I would assume that would involve having the White House counsel call directly the Attorney General and Mr. Rosenstein, or invite them over to the White House, quote unquote, them over to the White House for a meeting. This is dangerous territory for Sessions and Rosenstein. They're playing games with the President of the United States. It's very ugly. It's insulting to the President for Rod Rosenstein to say he's going to ask the Inspector General to talk to people that he knows the Inspector General has no authority to talk to, and he has no subpoena authority. This is a Potemkin investigation. It is a joke. It's an insult to the President, and if I were the President, I would be very, very angry by the response from Rosenstein last night.
Remind me of your position here, because I know we've had this conversation before. Do you think the President should be more personally involved in ferreting out the truth from the Justice Department? Is this a risk for him politically to start this process?
It is not a risk for him. We are long since beyond all. Remember this: the President of the United States is the chief law enforcement officer of this country. The Justice Department, the FBI, work for him. He proved that by firing James Comey, which he could have done for any reason. And he could fire Sessions and Rosenstein tomorrow, perfectly proper, perfectly constitutional. Since Watergate, there has always been this belief that And it isn't clear that Mr. McGahn is willing to do that. So the president's doing what he can do, which is tweak. Very, very effective, perfectly proper, perfectly legal, perfectly constitutional, and all these complaints from idiots like Mark Warner and others that this is very dangerous territory is absolute nonsense.
Joe, the New York Times Magazine has a piece about what you need to know about Stephen Halper, and they say that by all accounts, launching a counterintelligence investigation to ensure that campaign officials aren't vulnerable to foreign influence and blackmail is standard operating procedure at the FBI. It's not a scandal. Do you agree with that?
I most certainly do not. This had nothing to do with that. This was a ruse to plant information inside the Trump campaign so that it would flow back to the FBI knowingly, and they could use it to then get FISA warrants. Let's remember, they already had FISA attacks on the Russian ambassadors. They already had FISA attacks on all the Russian officials they needed to know about and other foreign officials. These were efforts to get wiretaps on Americans, not on foreign officials. And this is such an outrageous post hoc rationalization. Let's remember, Brennan and Clapper and Comey all denied there was any such surveillance going on of Americans. That was a lie. They lied to Congress. They lied to the American people. Now you're getting the post hoc rationalization from Clapper and others. Oh, this was a good thing to do, to spy on the Trump campaign. What idiocy.
Well, especially because it is self-destructive, the actual argument, which is to say, if they truly believed that the Russians hijacked the election by way of the Trump campaign, they would have stopped that process early on. That would be the correct response to that, if you're the FBI, is to notify the principal, in this case Donald Trump, or to go in and start making arrests early on in order to stop any of this from getting out of control. Yet that's not what happened at all. They let this alleged scenario play out, and then now they're saying that there was a Russian conspiracy. None of this makes sense to me, Joe.
Well, of course it doesn't make sense, because the reason that's being given for it to exist, which is to find out whether or not there was Russian intrusion, is a lie. This was done to create false information to blow back into American FBI hands so that they could get surveillance on Trump officials. Just remember, all of this starts with Stephen Halper and others approaching Papadopoulos, Carter Page, and others. We know that Halper approached many witnesses who have been interviewed by Mr. Mueller. There is no doubt what this was about. This was a covert operation being run by John Brennan and James Comey against the presidential candidate of the opposing party. And for Rod Rosenstein to make a joke of it by proposing that the IG investigate this is ridiculous.
Give us a sense of how exceptional this is, that you have an FBI informant inside of the Trump campaign.
I know of no other campaign in American history which has been subjected to this type of surveillance. And I would ask Director Wray and Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein to give us a list of all American campaigns that have been subjected to this type of illegal surveillance.
All right, well, Joe, we've got more time with you here, and I want to talk to you about that, how Stephen Halper was involved in a 1980 campaign with Reagan and Carter, and how this is different. So we've got that coming up with Joe. It is 7:15 now on WMA. We are joined by...
All right, guys, you know, there's an expression in Yiddish. I forget the Yiddish, but here's what it means. So you know the truth when you hear it. People recognize the sound of truth. I've been listening to Joe DeGeneva go on the air, on the radio, and on TV, talking about the probe, the investigation, the FBI, the deep state, and he speaks the truth. He has an incredible body of experience and knowledge, and people should be going to jail. People should be going to jail. Now, if there's one set of justice for everybody in America, people will. But make no mistake about it, what Obama's Justice Department did vis-a-vis the Donald Trump campaign was the same kind of thing that Richard Nixon and his band of merry men did back in the 70s. Nixon was written out of office, should have been jailed. It's not too late to jail Barack Obama. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more Real Truth.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Bear Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Bear Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Bear Survival. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Jesse Waters, Fox News, Ann Coulter, Immigration, go.
The most ridiculous hypocrite was Anna Navarro at CNN, who tweeted this. Trump is in a very bad mood. She had this to say. Did Donald Trump drop out of the race? Yes. He should drop out of the human race. He was an immigrant, a college immigrant. Good man, broker, economist, and corporate. And take it away. Anna Navarro wasn't the only one. Another very attractive Democrat, Rudy, this Carolina opposes Anna super. You killing beast who you named by rules. I mean, it's kind of been ignored or ignored, and I'd love to see the left defending MS-13 when they are trying to be angry and do things like this. Yeah, but look at some of the things that these people do. They rip your heart out, they'll rise, behead you, decapitate your cutting off limbs with machetes. I mean, whatever. Yeah, now, defend these people is the same way they defended Hamas a week before they defended the Rocket Man. It's every day somebody says this bad. Well, there's that, and generally the left amazing. I mean, in particular here, when it comes to immigration, their position is anyone who's not from the U.S. is better than the U.S. They just want you coming nonstop. Look at Anthony
Okay, hang on. We're going to get back there. Have some faith. Come on, YouTube. All right. Screw YouTube. Let's go back to news item from Deadline.com. It was very early in the morning on this side of the Atlantic, but 29.2 million Americans tuned in to watch live the wedding ceremony of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, unquote. My friends, if I wanted to insult the American people, I couldn't do it any better than pointing out this statistic. Nearly 30 million Americans had nothing better to do than tune into the absolutely obscene wedding of these quote-unquote royals. People who, if you wanted to shake their hand, they would have their security people grab you by the hair and drag you away. I haven't seen the number because I haven't looked for the number. But somewhere there's a number of how much money was spent on this wedding. How many hungry people could have been fed with that amount of money? How many sick people could have had medical services provided for them? How much of the wall to protect Americans could have been built with the amount of money wasted on this putrid display? And Americans, 30 million of them at least, loved it. Those 30 million Americans who have their heads up their asses don't know what is and is not valuable, don't know why they're on this planet, watching spectacle, watching the haves, the ridiculous display of let them eat cake debauchery. It is an affront to anything American, and I'm guessing these 30 million people don't really know what American is or isn't, maybe because they went to public schools and they were taught by nitwits who also didn't know what America's about. If you've been following the royal family, stop. Item. From Gizmodo, Google's unofficial motto has been the simple phrase, quote, don't be evil, unquote. But that's over, according to the code of conduct that Google distributes to its employees. The phrase was removed sometime in late April or early May. Archives hosted by the Wayback Machine show indicate. So now apparently don't do evil is not part of the mantra there at Google. Presumably they now feel that they can do evil. Item from Yahoo, a Muslim man accused of killing a cow was beaten to death by a mob in central India, police said on Sunday. The latest vigilante murder over the animal considered sacred by Hindus, unquote. My friends, nobody in this instance decided that Muslims are really our brothers and that all religions are the same and that we need to reach out to Muslims, maybe put them up in our backyards or open a spare room to them. No one in India felt that way. They saw a Muslim man killing a cow and they killed the Muslim man. Makes all the sense in the world to me. Item. From WorldNet Daily, the Boy Scouts have decided to accept people who identify as gay and lesbian among their ranks. Girls are welcome now, too, into the iconic organization, which has renamed itself Scouts BSA. So what's next? Well, here's what's next. A mandate that condoms be made available to all participants of its global gathering. It's among the demands of the World Scout Committee for any host country of a World Scout Jamboree. Unquote. So my friends, you remember the Boy Scouts you used to send your kids to be part of because it was wholesome and healthy and good for them? Those days are gone. Now you're sending people to a Boy Scout Jamboree. They better be packing condoms. And they better be ready for transsexual scouts, gay scouts, girl, Boy Scouts. It's a different world. It's a largely toxic world. In many ways, it's a disgusting world that we're building for ourselves, and we need to slam on the brakes because it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Mandatory condoms at the Boy Scout Jamboree. If that doesn't sum it up, I'm clueless as to what would. We'll take a break and we'll finish up more Riell Truth.
Beloved, do do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifices they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 10 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services and Longmont reminds listeners, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
Item from Breitbart. French police have arrested 3 people after an African migrant drug dealer was beaten to death in broad daylight by a gang of teenagers in southern France. Before horrified onlookers in the town of Pau, the man was brutally kicked, punched, beaten with a plastic chair leg and a piece of wood by a group of up to 12 teenagers, local media reported. The victim, 32, had a history of violent criminality and drug dealing, and his attackers were described as teenagers aged 12 to 17, unquote. So here was a drug dealer beaten to death in broad daylight. My friends, I can promise you one thing. He won't be dealing drugs anymore. Item from Breitbart. Throughout all of May last year, CNN's Jake Tapper averaged 1.091 million total viewers and 304,000 viewers in the advertiser-coveted 25 to 54 age demo. So far this year, through the 16th of May, those numbers have cratered by nearly a third. My friends, thanks to social media, perhaps thanks to radio shows like this one, more Americans than ever realize Jake Tapper is an asswipe. He's a mouthpiece for the swamp. He's garbage. And now he's going to be off the air soon. Luckily for Jake Tapper, they're hiring at Walmart. Item from Breitbart. Alexander Chicolo, 25, the son of a Boston police captain, pled guilty on Monday to plotting an Islamic State terrorist attack on a college campus. He'll face up to 20 years in prison for charges of providing material support to a foreign terrorist organization attempting to use weapons of mass destruction, illegal weapons possession, and assault with a dangerous weapon, unquote. My friends, he's a Muslim living here in America and plotting to murder you and your family. I don't understand how a Muslim could kill any American if that Muslim was not in America. Item also from Breitbart. A new program in the United Kingdom seeks to ban advertisements featuring thin women. The Committee of Advertising Practice, which provides all guidelines and restrictions for advertisements throughout various media in the United Kingdom, is considering adopting a proposal that would ban the use of, quote, body-shaming advertisements featuring thin women. The proposal would also eliminate ads that feature gender stereotypes such as a man struggling to change a baby's diaper or a woman failing to park a car. Unquote. My friends, you can't show things like that because you don't want people bursting into tears, do you? Item, the 4 remaining presidential candidates for Mexico participated in a second debate on Sunday in Tijuana as cartel violence continued with 8 more homicides registered 24 hours before the event. 8 different victims were murdered in various sections of the city from Saturday afternoon to Sunday morning, according to local media reports. Stop. Can't we please, God, please, can't we bring more of these people into America? After all civilizations, all countries are the same. All cultures are the same, right? Let's bring more people from the land of gangbanger beheadings, bodies swinging from bridges, children massacred. Let's bring more of these people from the garbage third world into America. Sometimes you have to just wonder, my friends. We'll be back tomorrow. More Real Truth. Hasta luego.